Hey guys, my name is Hogan, and basically in this video I'm going to do a book review on the Self-Discipline in 10 Days book. And I've basically got it on my Kindle. My friend Javier wanted me to do a review on it just to keep me accountable, so we're going to do a review. Okay, so it's called Self-Discipline in 10 Days, and the actual author is from... It's not a really like a popular book by Theodore Bryant. Okay, so you can get this book for free just by searching it on Google and search for the PDF. It's actually a really good book, and I've read it I think almost 20 times. Now, the reason why I started reading this book is because I feel that I lack self-discipline, and basically self-discipline means sometimes you want to do a certain thing, but then when you actually get to that task, you don't do it because your mind just tells you, you should delay it, you should do it tomorrow, you should do it another day, or maybe you don't want to do it because you think someone is going to think badly about you, or you don't want to do it because you fear success. Like, for example, some people might fear that if they're successful, then people might judge them a certain way, and that's what's going to hold them back from doing that task. So in this book, basically it explains the two different sides in your subconscious, which is the first side, which is hide, which is like your inner childlike side, and then there's another side, which is your side which wants self-discipline. Okay, the side that wants to improve, the side that wants to get everything done, the sides that want to achieve all your goals and everything like that, right? So it basically explains that, and that you should work with it, not against it. And then it also explains the fears that everyone has. So, for example, like some of the fears they go through is like the fear of, what people think. Also, they've got fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, fear of mediocrity, and fear of risk. So it talks about all these different types of fears. For example, fear of failure basically means like, are you scared to do something because you fear that if you do it, then people are going to laugh at you. So it explains that in detail. Then it talks about the fear of success, which basically is like, which I mentioned before, is talking about how you don't want to succeed, because maybe if you succeed, then maybe you might be like doing better than your friends. You might be doing better than your own dad, and you don't want that because you feel kind of bad. Then it talks about the fear of rejection, which is basically fear of what other people say of you. So for example, if your friend asks you to go out to the club, and then because you want to sleep early today, you want to wake up early tomorrow, you don't want to reject him, because if you reject him, then maybe he will be saying bad stuff about you and things like that. So it talks about that, I think, which is really important, because these are some of the things that run through people's head, but they don't really realize it until they actually read it. And this is what this book is really good at, sort of identifying. Then it goes through the fear of mediocrity. Basically, that is like you want everything to be perfect, but there's no such thing as being perfect. And if you want to have everything perfect, then nothing's ever going to get done. Then it talks about the fear of risk. So basically, if you fear risk, like for example, maybe if you do something and you think that it's gonna negatively impact you, then you're not gonna do that certain thing. So it explains that. And then after that, it talks about how to actually sort of work with hide, which is your inner self, inner childlike self. Okay, it talks about like visualization, about thinking about what you're going to do before you actually do it. So for example, it tells you that you should think about it before you sleep, like what you're going to do the next day, and also think about it before you actually start the task. Okay, so I think that really helped me in keeping myself sort of like for the next day. It keeps me sort of motivated for the next day if I visualize it before I sleep. But let's say if I go out and then I forget to visualize, then sometimes I wake up without knowing what I want to do. And also, another thing is it talks about setting reward systems. So basically, you should use rewards to motivate you to do stuff. and then also to use sort of affirmations and to write that down on a piece of paper or something like that and stick it on your car, stick it where you want to wake up, when you wake up, stick it like in your bathroom window thing so you look at it every day and read it and you keep telling your mind about it. And then the other step is relaxation. So for example, if you come across a task and then suddenly you don't want to do it, then you need to relax your mind. It talks about that. And then it also talks about having your goal sheet and yeah. And then what else it goes through? Yep, it goes through the self-discipline process. For example, the decision stage, and also the preparation stage, as well as the action stage, and also the completion and maintenance stage. So how to really maintain and keep track of everything that you've learned and actually applying sort of all the principles within the book. So I really highly recommend you read this book, whether you download it and put it on PC, or you convert it and put it into your Kindle. It's a lesser known book. I don't know how I actually found it. I found it a few years ago, and I've written like a lot of notes on it, and I find that it really helps me to be self-disciplined. Like whenever I have like a big task, I'm always like trying to delay it, and all these different things going in my mind about telling me why not to do it. This book helps me. If I read this book beforehand, it helps me to actually do that task, because I actually sort of recognize the tactics that Hyde is using against me from keeping me self-disciplined and achieving what I actually want to achieve. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a rough video because I just picked up this thing and just started talking about it without any like script or anything like that. Hoped it helped you guys out somewhere or another. I just highly recommend it. I'll put the link in the description if I find it, which I hopefully will. And yeah, see you guys next week with another book review sort of thing. And I might just put out random videos about my goals and stuff like that, about my other channel, Hogan, which is the website tutorial channel that I have, and my goals and things like that, which I will probably do. And see you guys.